Hey everyone, this is my opinion, and today we're going to be ranking all US presidents based on their hair. Alright, let's jump right into it. We're going to start with president number one here, George Washington, independent. As you can see, his hair here has a really nice sort of horseshoe curve to it along his head. Nice powdery grayish white. I think we could probably stick this guy, I'd say well groomed. Definitely above the generic inoffensive, but I don't know if it's stylish. All right, we're going to jump ahead to John Adams, president number two, Federalist. Kind of got the horseshoe shape going here, but there's this interesting decision to just kind of split a gap down here in the middle, kind of like Noah parting the Red Sea. Definitely very curly, not unkempt kind of curly, just very, very curly. I think we're going to put this man here. I think we're also going to put him in well groomed. Definitely behind Washington, though. All right, next up, we got Thomas Jefferson, Democrat Republican president number three. Again, we got that horseshoe shape going right here. Very, very popular amongst our early presidents. Kind of the same as George Washington's, except instead of these kind of spikes coming out of the side for Washington, you got these nice little rounded sort of muffs here. I'm gonna put him, I think. Well, you know what? I think most of these early presidents are probably going to go and well groom these founding father types, but I'm going to put him above Adams because Adams, like I said, he has that weird parting of the Red Seas thing going here. All right, president number four, we got James Madison, Democrat Republican. Following that same trend as all the rest, got that nice horseshoe curve, except where Washington has that sort of jagged spike coming out the side of his heads, and Jefferson has that sort of weird little, I don't know what you'd call it, kind of a hill. This guy has an interesting kind of hair lobe going on, but what's most interesting, what's most noticeable about this man is the addition of a widow's peak to his little horseshoe curve. Let's see, just like all the rest of them so far, I'm going to put him just below Jefferson if it were not for the widow's peak. Jump ahead, number five, James Monroe, Democrat Republican. Uh, Definitely a deviation from the founding fathers. We got this nice kind of sleek backed hair, very well kept, very well combed. This little stick up part here behind his ear, probably just a slight oversight. Possibly a widow's peak, but definitely not a noticeable one. You wouldn't say widow's peak when you look at this man. You would just say very, very well kept. We're going to put James Madison. Did I call him James Madison? I meant James Monroe. We're going to put him. We're going to put him at the very top of well groomed. Yeah, we are. We're going to put Washington behind him. There we go. All right. Let's move on. Where are we? Six? We got six. And this one's a fun one. We've got John Quincy Adams, Democrat Republican, son of second President James Adams, John Adams, my apologies. Let's see, let's assess this. We've got a very interesting kind of a circle going on here. We got the circle of hair. Mutton chops are just off the charts. I would rate him in well kept, well groomed, but if you look closely into his eyes, you could just hear him screaming to be put in stylish. Those mutton chops. All right. Number seven, got Andrew Jackson, our first Democrat president. Um, looking at this man, you've heard of some crazy stuff this guy did, both as president, as general, growing up as a lad. He was dueling people as an official figure. He was, he didn't treat certain sections of people very well. And just by looking at his hair, I think it's safe to say that this portion was not in control. It was this business right here. This business was all the evil crazy. And for that, we're going to put him in the didn't comb section. All right, next up, we are at number 8. And I'm going to think about that as we go through this and correct myself if I need to. We've got Buren, Martin Van Buren specifically. Um, this man he's got a whole nother thing going on, and I don't think we need to linger on this image too long. I think we can just take this boyo right here, right into the didn't comb section, except we're gonna put him way behind crazy hair. All right, next up, we have William Henry Harrison. I'm pretty sure I'm going in the correct order here. This was our first Whig president, and he had led perhaps the second most popular presidency, mostly because he only stuck around for a month and didn't get to do anything. Look at this man. The very first thing you see, tremendous widow peak. I don't know what's actually going on with his hair as a whole. Is it slicked back? Is it slicked forward? Just this widow's peak here, man. We're going to put this guy, let's see, we're going to put him in inoffensive. There's nothing going on except that crazy widow's peak. Is just a very non-infuriating haircut. All right, next up, we've got John Tyler. First a Whig, and then he was disowned by his party, and he just became an independent. So technically, our second Whig and second independent. He's got an interesting hair thing going here. It's not really inoffensive. I think it's just a tick above inoffensive. Got a nice curly thing going on here. It is obviously kept to some degree. We're gonna put it at the very bottom of well groomed, I think. All right, moving on. We got James Polk, and I lost count, so I'm not doing that anymore. James Polk, Democrat. Yeah, that might be widow's peak right there, but it is perhaps the best haircut with a widow's peak so far because of this mullet. Look at that mullet, matched with the just stern, soulless look in his eyes, the raised collar here. This man, there's a reason why he was called Little Hickory, the miniature version of Crazy Hair's Old Hickory, Big Hickory, Old Hickory, we're going to say. Just an overall very nice haircut. We're going to put him in, where is he? I lost him. We're going to put this guy, I think, no, definitely not inoffensive. He's much better than that. We're going to go in stylish, but I think I'm going to put him just behind Quincy Adams because so far nothing's beating just that circle. All right. Moving on, we have James Taylor. I'm going to say it's James Taylor. And Whig. He is a Whig. There's something about wigs and their hair. He's just a very miserable looking man overall. We're just gonna put this guy in didn't comb, but I think he's gonna go above Van Buren because Van Buren's just crazy. All right, let's move ahead. We've got. Is this right? Is this the next guy? All right, we've got Franklin Pierce. A very, very young man at this time. A very, very tragic backstory, too. On his way, I believe it was to the inauguration, he had gotten into a carriage accident. He had lost his family. So I'm not really going to harp on the guy. It affected his presidency. In fact, a lot of people say it was a very poor, unpopular presidency, probably. But given the circumstances, I really wouldn't want to dedicate myself to anything after such a tragedy. All right. His hair, very nice curly wavy thing going on here. He is obviously a very well-groomed man. We are going to put him at, we're going to put him above John Adams. I don't know, every time I think about the whole valley, the whole canyon in between his hair pieces, it just kind of puts me off. All right, let's see. We're moving on to, did I say Franklin Pierce was a Democrat? I might have. All right, we're moving on to another Democrat. We got James Buchanan. Oh, man, what is this? This isn't a very high quality picture, obviously, very blurry. You don't need high quality to tell there's just a mess going on here, but there might be a widow's peak too. I think there is. This dude's just got wild hair and a widow's peak. he's going at the very bottom of didn't comb. I don't think this guy really had a sort of a tragedy for him to explain his just wildness. All right, moving on. All right, big man, Republican Lincoln. I think he's the 15th president. And I'm just saying that because I've like memorized that for some reason. This is the start of facial hair in our during to post Civil War presidencies. All right. Despite the beard, which isn't really a terrible thing either, we've got relatively okay hair. I'd say with the addition of the real scruffiness of it, he's either gonna go in the top of inoffensive and probably stay around the top region, or I'd put him at the very bottom of well groomed. I'm gonna say inoffensive. I'm gonna say he's at the top of inoffensive. All right, let's see. We got Democrat Andrew Johnson. Yeah, no, okay hair. Really, nothing off about it. It's coned back very nicely. This might be a widow's peak, but I'm not really gonna knock off too many points for it. Let's see. He's got a nice kind of just sort of smooth. What am I gonna call it? Am I gonna call it like a bowl kind of thing going on here? It's an okay haircut. It's not terrible. He's well groomed. I'll put him above Adams. There we go. Very nice. Let's see. Next, Ulysses S. Grant. Let's see. Again, totally fine. The facial hair, I think, was just a little better kept than Lincoln's, in addition to relatively well-kept hair. I don't know if it looked like this during his time as general. Probably not. But this is the presidency, and I'm going to say he goes at the very top of inoffensive. No, I'm going to put him above Adams, actually. Yeah, Adams is probably going to fall to inoffensive before very long. All right, let's move ahead. Okay, again, we've got this trend of the ever-growing beard, and I think they just get longer with the next one. This is Rutherford B. Hayes, Republican. The beard's just kind of weird. I don't know what the point is of like kind of trying to comb your hair back a little bit if you're just gonna have a beard like this. I'm gonna put him. Man, like, does he even have a mouth underneath that? Does he have a chin underneath that? Let's see. We're gonna put him in inoffensive, but we're gonna put him in between Lincoln and Harrison because Harrison's just losing me with that widow's peak. It's driving me nuts. All right, next, we got James Garfield. His haircuts. Actually, the beard haircut combo is marginally better than Hayes. For one thing, you can definitely see that he has a mouth underneath this one, but the haircut here too is just a little bit better kept, I think. Yeah, definitely a better combo. He is going above B. Hayes. Right, next, Chester A. Arthur. Good hair, okay hair, but it's these mutton chops. These are something else. And you'll see a lot of different pictures of this guy. Sometimes they're just like mutton chops and stubble, which is kind of gross, but at this point they're grown out. The unkemptness of them is a sight to behold, but the fact that he just grew this thing out to the length that he did is just a different kind of impressiveness. Plus, I think his mustache portion above the lip there is probably the best kept of it all. Let's see. I'm gonna put mutton chops here. Mutton chops are just stylish, man. They're gonna go because of the unkemptness of it, though. He's gonna go behind Polk because Polk is just rocking that mullet, and of course you got Quincy Adams here, just the perfect mutton chop, the best kept mutton chops. We're moving on. Oh, by the way, Chester A. Arthur, Republican. I don't think I said that. I don't think I said that Garfield was a Republican either. There you go. Repub. This is a Republican-dominated era. Until now. All right, two-time non-consecutive president, the 22nd and the 24th. Grover Cleveland, Democrat, the Walrus. In more ways than one, he was a very girthy man. He was a very, very larger than life man, but he also had this very impressive walrus-esque mustache here. Um, Very impressive mustache. The hair was nice kept, a widow's peak, but it's just one of those ones that doesn't stand out. Just nice kept hair overall. He knew that the presidency, keep it simple, nice small, nice kept mustache, and nice kept hair. I'm gonna put this guy. That mustache is fantastic. He's gonna go at the very bottom of stylish. I like his mustache style. I wish I could grow a mustache like that. Not really. I don't care for mustaches on myself. On other people who pull it off well, it's great. Benjamin Harrison, Republican, grandson of William Henry Harrison, except this guy got to live for his entire presidency of 4 years. Let's see, nice. If the black and white photography hasn't thrown me off, just a nice snowy white hairdo altogether. Nice kept hair, nice kept mustache beard combo. Could use a little grooming around here, but overall, just a nice kept guy. All right, let's see. Benjamin Harrison, you're gonna go in the top of inoffensive. Nothing impressive in the end of the day. Just the best kind of generic that we've seen so far. All right, so moving on next, we already talked about Cleveland, so we don't have to talk about him again. We've got McKinley next in line. McKinley, Republican. Let's see. We're starting to step back from the facial hair a little bit for a second. Nice little just comb back, not a lot of hair to begin with. These eyebrows though, I haven't even been looking at presidents' eyebrows. What have they been like? Yeah, really nothing crazy until this guy. Um, Maybe that's why he looks so just stern and intense. Maybe it's just his eyebrows. Maybe his eyebrows are doing it to him. Overall, nothing really crazy to write home about. We'll put him above Lincoln in the inoffensive. Perfect, beautiful. All right, move on. Got Teddy Roosevelt, Republican. This sort of eyeglass thing here, that would, if I was adding the whole style in, this would probably bump him up a couple of points, but we're not including that here. We got a nice little, not as impressive a mustache like Cleveland. It's kind of walrusy, but this thing is just not as full to me, or definitely as well kept. The hair is also kind of okay. For such an extravagant, flamboyant, and very popular man, very, very basic look. He's going to go right there in offensive, right below McKinley. Right below McKinley. I can't do this. Right below McKinley. All right, let's see what we got next. We got Taft, Republican. Let's see. Again, this is just an extension of that Republican controlled era. It's going to come to a halt very shortly. But let's see. Fuller mustache than Roosevelt, but looks even less well kept. But the hair is, I think, a little bit better kept. It's kind of a weird little trade off. I think he's going to go right there with Roosevelt, and they're kind of interchangeable here. So don't say, I wouldn't say that either one is better than the other. Definitely better than these guys, not better than these guys. All right, Woodrow Wilson, yeah, Democrat. Oh, let's see. So this is when we got rid of the facial hair for good, starting with this guy. Very just plain looking, okay hair. Whatever. Let's see. We're gonna put him beneath McKinley. If we were ranking presidencies, this would be a whole different story, by the way. All right. Millard Fillmore. I knew I was out of order. Millard Fillmore went back to the 1800s. He was our fourth and final Whig. Interesting hair. Lots of it, too, for a guy at this time, at this age. I'm not sure if that's actually a factor or not. But we're going to put him... it's not like the best kept I've seen. Where are you, Fillmore? What a name. Millard Fillmore. It's definitely an 1800s name. We're going to put him in inoffensive. But where? We're going to put him... I don't know, it's kind of a weird hair when you sort of look at it. We'll put him above Lincoln. I don't know. These presidents down here, I don't know, like for an offensive, they just I don't know. All right. Back to order. We've got Warren G. Harding. I forget what the G stands for. Republican. Yeah, nothing really to say. Hair. Harding, you go in the inoffensive section. You're gonna go. You're interchangeable with Woodrow Wilson as far as hair is concerned. Yep, right there you go. Actually, all three of these guys, McKinley, Wilson, Harding, they're all the same kind of inoffensive haircut. Nothing crazy. All right, Coolidge. The same thing. Very inoffensive hair, just nice, slicked back, well kept man overall. He was very, very, very. Did I say he was a Republican? Anyways, I should have started with that. Republican Coolidge. Very, very just well kept man altogether. He took pride in his ability to look the part of an executive. But he is, again, just a very inoffensive haircut. We're going to put him maybe at the top of. Let's put him at the top of inoffensive right now. I think he's just a very, very neat, clean fellow. Hoover. Yeah, basic hair. I don't know. It's kind of goofy looking. Maybe I could have found a better picture, but it's all right. It's all right. Just a little bit goofy. We're gonna put him in inoffensive too. We're gonna put him, I think, below Millard Fillmore. There we go. All right, here we are. Four-time presidential race winner, FDR. At a time when, presidents didn't have shame in running more than twice. Very, very basic hair. Again, we're getting into kind of the boring hair era. Let's see. Yeah, let's just put him below Woodrow Wilson. Very inoffensive. Oh, by the way, I don't think I said it. Hoover, Republican. FDR, Democrat. Moving on. Harry S. Truman, Democrat. Yeah. Yeah. It's just your basic inoffensive hair. Inoffensive hair. Let's see. Yeah, just put him in between FDR and Harding. Okay, so just to make sure you understand, McKinley, Wilson, FDR, Truman, Harding. Very just same level of inoffensive. It's nothing to write home about. Technically, neither is Coolidge, but I just think he's kind of the best and neatest of them. Let's go. Eisenhower, here we go. That's when we broke that Democrat control for a little bit. Well, at least for 2 terms. Eisenhower, Republican. Yes, there is definitely nothing offensive about his hair. What's left of it. We got him in inoffensive, and he's going to go. Just having a lack of hair doesn't make you like the worst either. He's gonna go beneath Hoover. There we go. All right, let's move on. John F. Kennedy, Democrat. Actually, really good hair for the time. This is probably the fullest head of hair we've had in a while. That paired with his just personality, his charming style, we're gonna put Kennedy. I think we're gonna put him in well groomed. But where in well groomed? That is the question. We're gonna put him above Pierce. Yeah, we're putting him above Pierce. There we go. That's a pretty good place for him. All right, moving on. We got Lyndon B. Johnson. We got a Democrat. I think because of just the lack of hair, the widow's peak is the first thing you're going to pull out of this. Slick back, styled back. Really nothing too crazy. Kind of looks a little bit wiry. I don't like the look that this guy is giving me. I don't like his widow's peak. He's gonna go above Henry Harrison because William Henry Harrison's widow's peak takes up all of his forehead. All right, let's go. We have Nixon. There we are, Republican. Look at that. Look at that. Yep, that's a widow's peak, all right. We're going to put that guy. Where are we? We're going to put him right above William Henry Harrison. They're close. Look at him, smiling when he has a widow's peak like that. Moving on. Gerald Ford, Republican. I have not been able to find a picture of this guy smiling that didn't make me feel uneasy. Very basic hair of what's left of it. I don't know if this is even a widow's peak. At this point I may be losing the definition of widow's peak a little bit. Just coned back, very inoffensive. Don't like his face. He's creeping me out. He's gonna go just above Nixon. Wonderful. All right, Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter actually still alive, incredibly, and still chugging along, still doing great work. He's a very, very good-hearted man. Let's see. Very okay kept hair. It's inoffensive. I don't think I would put him in the well-groomed section. I think I would put him somewhere near the top of inoffensive. I'm going to say... I think I could put him in the same league as all of these fine, inoffensive gentlemen of the same quality of hair. All right, Ronald Reagan, Republican. Oh, wait, I think I missed a couple. So, Jimmy Carter, Democrat. Gerald Ford, I think I said he was a Republican. All right. Ronald Reagan, Republican. Oh, let's see. So he was an actor. He was expected to have a very, very posh and good appearance. Very charismatic fellow in both looks and speech. Let's see. His hair, nice and full at this point in time. I think it's kind of stylized. We don't really have a widow's peak going, which is points. Let's see. I'm gonna put him in well-groomed. I think I'm gonna put him in the very bottom though, just because he was an actor. Doesn't mean he was able to pull off the naturalistic well-groomedness of our much earlier presidents, and Kennedy. All right, let's see. Reagan. We got Republican George H.W. Bush. He's got a really goofy smile. It doesn't matter though, because we've got a very non-goofy, very basic hairstyle. Yeah, well kept, but I mean, like, it's just there hasn't been a lot going on. Maybe I should have explained what I thought by well-groomed. I don't know what I meant by well-groomed. We're gonna put him in inoffensive, however, and I think we're gonna put him in in the same boat as the rest of these fellas. Just put him next to Jimmy Carter, get some color in there. All right, Clinton. I should have found a better quality picture of this too, of him. Democrat. Let's see. A little bit of a widow's peak, but it's such a full head of hair. Who cares? I think it's kind of stylized. I think it's kind of styled back a little bit. It's definitely got like a kind of spiky, wavy appearance too. I think it's actually a pretty nice head of hair right there. Yeah, I think we can put him at the bottom of well-groomed. I think it's just a really, really nice head of hair overall. Definitely for a much younger Clinton of the time. All right, let's see. W. Bush. I don't know if this was at the time of his presidency. He looks just a little bit older, but then again, that presidency probably aged him. Let's see. Just a nice basic gray hair. He's got this funny little sticking out thing that mine does. Yeah, it's inoffensive, but it's probably gonna go a little bit below because I don't know. I don't know if I really ever recall seeing this guy with the best kept hair. We're gonna put him above Lincoln, but below Eisenhower. There we go. Wonderful. All right. Next we got Obama. Yeah, just a very, very basic hair. Kept extremely short and not hard to keep at all. A very just generic hair, a very, very generic placement of inoffensive. And he's going to go... we'll put him in here with Carter and H.W. Bush. I think that's okay. There we go. Wonderful. Got a lot of inoffensives. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that, you know, these guys weren't elected for their hair. All right. Next up, second to last. You've been waiting for this one. Oh, I know you have. Let's rip it off like a band-aid. All right, moving on. Oh, Trump, Republican, in case you didn't know. Oh, I'm sorry. Obama, Democrat. W. Bush, Republican. Clinton, Democrat. I don't remember if I said any of them. All right, Joseph Biden, current president today, Democrat. Let's see. Yeah, inoffensive. Let's put him in there with the rest of the colored pictures. Excellent. All right, well, that is the end of my tier list. Please, by all means, if you have any opinions, let me know what you think. I'm pretty set on this. I don't think I'm gonna change my mind anytime soon. Uh, thanks for watching. All right, have a good night. Goodbye.